So yeah, we've been dedicating a lot of time and energy into trying to get our garden harvested and all of our veggies and stuff that have been ready or that are ready. So we spent a little time trying to harvest out. We got greens and some tomatoes, some kale, definitely some zucchini. And we also have like because we have our backyard growing stations and in the backyard, but we also have another farm location where Tia went this morning to harvest a bunch of things too, which, like I said, was pretty much the same: tomatoes, green peppers, different herbs, some zucchini, cucumbers, things like that. Lots of herbs, actually. She's actually right now getting ready to bunch them up so she can wash them and we can dry them out to create some dried seasonings and things like that. So right now I am going to start by getting these tomatoes nice and cleaned. I just let them soak for a while in some water and vinegar and let them get a good rinse. Actually, I am going to also peel off the stems on these guys so that just the tomato is left. Use that in the compost. So that's what I'm doing here. And then we also have Tia in the food grade buckets cleaning and soaking the greens and kales that we have. Also the herbs and all of that good stuff. So she is taking care of that so that we can get that at least cooked or blanched and frozen. I'm actually going to get started. These tomatoes have been sitting for a while, so I'm going to get started here with cutting these guys. So not only am I cutting, but before I get started, I am examining these good old tomatoes to make sure they are good to go. Just because you may or you may not see a couple spots on them does not mean that they are any good. You can easily just cut those pieces off and use the remainder of the tomato. It is very important to remember that this food is grown in nature. There's bugs, there's things that you may not like. It doesn't mean that the food is no good. It's just how you process it and prepare it. We are not looking for grocery store perfection here. And again, Tia's getting ready to dry and hang these herbs so that we can have that. Some coriander, cilantro. We have some parsley, some basil, Genovese basil, purple and green. And we also have some lemon basil, which a lot of this would probably be used for different, like the lemon basil will probably be used for a lot of body care, like soap and lotions and things like that. So definitely going to get these guys ready for a good rinse and hanging downstairs to dry out. Now back to these tomatoes here. I am going to go ahead and start getting it cut off, cut up and diced up and thrown into the roaster just as it is. As you can see, I'm just cutting the top. Some of them I'm going to, depending on how big it is, some of them I'm going to throw right in. Some of them I'm going to cut in half or into wedges of 4s. For some reason, last year we got these huge tomatoes, and this year we don't really have a lot of huge tomatoes. So could be something on our end that we did, but I don't know, who knows. We also didn't get a lot of peppers this year like we usually do, but that is okay. Like I said, I'm getting this cut up to make some tomato sauce, some universal tomato sauce that we can use if we want to make some spaghetti or pizza or anything that would require tomato sauce. We are going to get this ready, and like I said, we're using a roaster, so you can just cut these guys up and throw them directly into the roaster and have them roast and simmer down until you get a good consistency going. We also had a nice harvest of jalapeno peppers and a few banana peppers, you see. But we are actually going to be getting these together too to can them, because I love jalapeno pepper. I love canned jalapeno peppers. So I can eat that on just about anything. And it's strange because I don't even really like hot stuff, but I love those hot peppers. Here you can see I've added some fresh herbs and some onion and green peppers, some oregano. Yeah, we've added a few things in here with the tomato sauce to kind of cook down with it. This is actually going to be doing this simmering and cooking for some hours, maybe about 3 to 4, depending on how we regulate this temperature here. And right now we have it going at 375 degrees. So we're gonna let that just kind of simmer and keep checking back. And here, as you can see, this is probably maybe 45 minutes to an hour in. Oh, look at that. That's exactly how it looks. You see it's kind of watery, and that's okay. This is not really the finishing product yet. Like I say, you're going to let it sit and cook down for quite a while. Here, Tia had cut up the green peppers, so I am giving them a good blanching. So I'm going to blanch them for a few minutes and then throw them in some cold water, and then I'm going to freeze them. I heard that you don't necessarily have to blanch them, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I just think that I should. And then I'm going to throw them in some cold water to kind of stop that cooking process that they were going through and lock that flavor in. Now, I was actually going to put these in a freezer in a air sealed bag, but we use so many green peppers and this is not a lot. So okay, look at this sauce. It is coming along very, very well. Now, I went ahead on and got these greens and kale in the pot because they were looking too good, and I'm like, maybe I should go ahead and try to. So here we are. Actually it's like a day and a half later. So we had done so much cutting, preserving, chopping the other day that it was late, so we decided to put the tomato sauce in the refrigerator. Like I said, it's a day and a half later, the morning of, and I got up, I pureed, which I should have showed, but I pureed the tomato sauce. So now there is a very consistent sauce there, which is heating up. And then I have, but yeah, I just really wanted to bring you all along. I'm sanitizing these guys right now, heating them up, but I really wanted to bring you all along with the process so you can see what I'm doing. I'm not really giving a whole bunch of instruction right now, because I wanted to save that and do a piece by piece video just to kind of give you some ideas on where to start at least and what to do. But I did want to show you all that the process of creating your own is not hard at all. And I like I said, I started this channel so that we can get to see firsthand that relying on yourself for food and the basic necessities of survival and living is probably the most important thing that you can do right now. And I just want you all to see that it's not hard. It's like we've kind of been tricked into this convenient lifestyle that we really don't have to live. Instead of getting up every day and working hard for someone else just to kind of remain in a cycle, you really could just get up every day and work hard for yourself and make sure you are sustainable and that your family is sustainable and that you're really putting yourself in a position to leave something of value behind. At the end of the day, understanding and learning and understanding how to survive at its most basic level is important. And when you think about it, we don't know these things. We don't know how to survive, like the basic principles of survival. That's how dumbed down we've been. And a lot of us walk around and we think we're so smart, but we really can't even, create, things that are very minute that we need to survive. So how do we get back to that place of knowing and understanding who we are and what it is that we need to do to kind of break away from the cycle?